Hey, welcome back to the channel, Love on Two Wheels. I got something special just for you. We're actually going to install Custom Dynamics lower fairing lights on this 2022 CVO Limited, AKA Stella. We'll be right back. So, as many of you know, I've been working with Custom Dynamics for the last couple of years and installing different lights on my previous Road Glide Limited and now on to Stella as well. And most of the lights around here are from Custom Dynamics, not the headlight. I'll be working on that probably some other time. Let me know what you think. There's some other headlights that are out there. Been partial to Custom Dynamics. There's several of them out there, but more than likely I'll probably go with them. But most of my other lights that weren't LED natively are all from Custom Dynamics right here on Stella. And this one won't be any different. And actually it came just in time. As you know, on some of these, there's either a flat panel or a honeycomb panel that's usually covering on the lowers if it's on a limited. Or if sometimes if they're aftermarket, it'll be a flat panel that you've installed in those lowers. These lowers came with them, of course, and the panel just happened to fall off. So just in time, the team over at Custom Dynamics, Aaron, thank you much, and your team, David and Brian, thank you so much. And I want to make sure I give you guys a good shout out because you guys have been nothing but help to me. So we're going to make sure we do this install. You've seen installs on several different other models, but I haven't seen one specifically on how to do the install on the Road Glide or Road Glide Limited or Road Glide Specials or anything like that. The Road Glide family, right? So we're going to do that today, and I'm going to try to do most of it step by step. Some of the areas you may already know, like we're going to remove the front fairing, the windshield, and you've seen my videos on that. I'll keep a link on that as well on top here. And so we'll try to bypass this part here. But in the meantime, when we get to the nuts and bolts of it, I'll show you exactly where the wiring goes and exactly how to install the lights onto here, okay? Stand by. As you can see, I have the Custom Dynamics windshield trim as well. So we're going to remove that along with the windshield. I've removed these so much that the little rubber piece started coming off, so that's easily replaceable. It's just for protection only anyway. It's just pops right off. Now we're going to have to remove the fairing, which includes several bolts. There's actually a bolt up under the speaker. This bolt here next to the head, next to the turn signal lights, and as well as there's two screws here. I think all you need to take out is that bottom one right there. You can leave the top one in there, but sometimes I'll take them both out, but you only need to take out that bottom piece right there. And voila, the fairing should come off. Okay, now that we have the fairing off, what we're going to do is identify one of the BCM adapter harnesses. It'll look just like this. It's got, well, it looks like this. And it's got a male and female black ends and 3 different white ends. And so I read the instructions, so we don't have to go through this. So the instructions are really, really detailed, okay? So I know some of you are very visual, so I'm gonna try to show you as best as I can each step. So you won't have to read all the instructions, but feel free, the instructions will tell you each thing step by step, where to go, what buttons to push, where to connect it, male to female, etc. So to make it easy, we're going to take the black male and female ends here, right? And we're going to plug this male end into the turn signal, the main turn signal harness. Now, if you recall, I already have the Custom Dynamics windshield trim, so those areas were already covered. However, it came with a Y adapter initially, so you can actually use that. You can unplug, when you unplug the harness from the fairing, you'll have this exposed. So this is where you're going to use it at. And keep in mind, you have a male and female. So this is a female. You're gonna plug the male into the female of the main harness, the main turn signal harness. You're gonna leave this exposed. What's gonna happen is when you put the fairing back on, you're gonna plug your turn signals in right back in here, okay? So that's easy setup. Okay, so as you can see, we did the same thing on the left side and we did on the right side. All we did was plug in into the turn signal main wiring harness. So now that you've got two ends, there's a male end on the right side and a female end on the left side. You want to plug those in two together. And there was a power and accessories port. Let me kind of bring this in to you closer. There was a power and accessories port right here. There's one on each side actually. So on the left side, the power and accessories port had a plug in it. I actually took it out already as I was doing some testing, but there was a plug that goes in here. Now, you're gonna take the plug that was in here and you're gonna put it into the right side, female side. So that black plug that was in there, you're gonna put it into the female side of the right side BCM. You're gonna plug that in together. Now that you've got both sides connected with each other, that male white 2-pin connector, you're gonna put it back into this power and accessories port that you just unplugged. So the left side of the BCM adapter, male, you're gonna put it into the female black power adapter, power and accessories adapter. All right. Now what you're gonna do is kind of clean this up a little bit, and we're gonna start with the lower fairings, the wiring harness from there, and do some rerouting. So stand by on that. So here's something that's gonna be interesting. So on the lower fairing wiring harness, there's actually a little hole right to the side there. If you can see that. I'll bring it in closer in just a minute. But all you gotta do is actually pull this in. Now, some of the videos say loosen up the 2 screws in the back here. Here, let me kind of show you. There's 2 screws down there, and some videos say that you need to unscrew those. Now you can to make it a little easier. However, if you see, coming through that back side here, route the wire through the back, or through the front, and it comes out just fine. Now you will have to pull a little bit on the little plastic here, on the lower fairing in the back side, just to get it a little bit loose. But once you get it loose, you'll see the wire come right through, and easy peasy. All right, now we're going to bring the wire all the way through, and we're going to snap back into the lower fairing, the actual lights. So we'll do that real quick. It goes in pretty easily once you get it started. Then you just line it up, and it should snap into place. All right, takes a little bit of elbow grease, but once you get it in there, it just slides right in. Now that we got that in, we'll do the same thing on the right side. So now we have both sides plugged in, or we have both sides snapped in. As you can see here, looking from the front, that's the left side. And we've got the right side in. So the next step is to that wire that you brought from below the lower fairing, you need to route it all the way through and make it as neat as possible. I actually routed mine behind, it's gonna go behind the fairing, through the speaker, and into the front of the fairing, or into the front of the bike. So we've got both sides. Here's the left side, I'm looking from the front, and we have the right side here. And these, you know where these are going, right? Right into the female side, right here. So you have a male and female on the right side, and a male and female on the left side. I'm sorry, I dropped it a little bit. Male and female on the left side. So you have a 2-pin connectors on each side, or these are 3 pins, I'm sorry. You have 3-pin connectors on each side. You're going to plug in the male into the female, And then before I put everything back in, we're gonna do a little test. So stay tuned for that. So now that we got everything plugged up together, there's still a little mess right here. I'm gonna clean all this up. But before I do any cleanup, and before I do any, so the package comes with placement tabs as well as zip ties to hold everything in place. So we're gonna make sure we do all that before we tighten everything up. But in the meantime, let's make sure everything works. Let's see. We've got the left fairing, the right fairing. We have the windshield trim. Let's check the other windshield trim. Windshield trims. Everything so far looks connected right now. The moment of truth. Do the turn signals work? Let's look. All right. From riding the bike, that's the right turn signal. All right, I think we're in business. So what we're gonna do next is make sure we clean all this up, tighten all the, make sure all the wires are neat and tidy, and then we'll do a full BCM check, all right? And pretty much that's it. Once you have the fairing put it back on in reverse order as you had it before. So this is what I've done on everything so far. I've made sure I've routed all the wires. I've zip tied them. Make sure they were in proper place and put the fairing back on in reverse order. Make sure you got all your bolts in there as well. And the last thing I need to do is put the windshield and the guard back on, and we'll be done. And so that's gonna take me a couple more minutes, because this is my suggestion. If you're gonna do all this, you might as well make sure you clean up everything else, because all the rides that we have, there's plenty of bugs and dirt and grease up in there. So I'm gonna do some little spring cleaning, spot cleaning on Stella before I put the windshield back on. If you got any more questions, just leave some comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you like this video. Make sure you let me know, and I'll make more videos just like this. And like I mentioned, keep in mind, this might be the next thing that I change out. So Aaron, I'll be giving you a call. Again, I want to say thank you to the Custom Dynamics team, Aaron and your crew. You guys have been great over these last couple of years. I really appreciate you. And I'm making plans to come up there to come see you very soon, all right? Anything else, just let me know. Love on two wheels, please.